Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike and I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk to you about Runabout Runamuck, the IronFactory version of Racing Bros Retrograde, the EX26R. It's a lot to say. And you can get these at Show Z. I'll put a link down in the description. That's where I got these guys from. So let's get right into it. So here is the packaging. You can see it has both characters in it, the Runabout and the Runamuck, and then here's the back, and you get to see both modes and a little bit of the articulation. Looks pretty similar to other IronFactory packaging. First, let's go ahead and take a look at this one here, and it's all white plastic. You've got some black paint on the windows. You've got some paint on the front, paint on the tires. There he is on the bottom. And I gotta say, it doesn't really look like exactly like maybe a Lamborghini or whatever, but this is based off the mold of Sunstreaker, which I haven't seen those, so I don't know if everything exactly the same, but I know that people really want that other Racing Bros set, and so this Runabout Runamuck, it's an interesting idea that they use the same mold. Let's look at the figure here, and then we're going to transform them both ways, do some comparisons and all of that. But I think this one actually pops. The colors just look really good, and I don't know. This is a shiny plastic, but almost looks like it's painted, but it's not. The red paint really pops, that metallic, that really vibrant metallic paint. Same thing about the gun. And I bought both guns on him in bot mode. I can't find a way to store guns in alt mode. I don't know if that is even a thing, but anyway, that guy, let's look at this face here. You've got some paint, red eyes, such a tiny little face in there. Does this help focus it? Interesting little set, this IronFactory Racing Bros. So here is a comparison next to a Hasbro Sea Spray, and then the Iron Trans, which is sort of a McFans Toys, which is the larger scale. And the thing is, I really think IronFactory can hold its own in the larger scale, and I think they've made a little bit bigger on the bigger side. I only have a few of them, but I'm happy with the size and the scaling of all my IronFactory, and so we'll see that in the bot modes too. But this is kind of how it's going to look. And I think a lot of this is like if you have the Racing Bros, the first set, you're going to know what you're going to get. But it seems like a lot of people missed out on that set, so this is going to be new to a lot of people, like me. Let's get into transforming this guy. And I'm going to raise the camera a bit so we keep it all on camera. I'm going to slide down these legs, split the legs. Feet are real simple. They just fold out like that. I love this design. That's a really cool idea for feet on a Legends figure, so that looks good. And I'm gonna undo the arms here because there's a little tab here and it goes into there. And then you can open up this piece here, pull it around to the back to give you that signature Runabout Runamuck look to it. And then we need to lift this chest piece up and flip it around, and it double hinges back in place. And then for the arms, you're going to twist them around because you need to get the hands out, twist the hands, and there you go, more or less. Feels like I just didn't get the legs out all the way, but anyway, here he is next to his brother, his Racing Bro. We can move this back down now, get him more in frame. So let's look at some articulation. You have the head moving around here. Arm is on a ball joint. It goes all the way around, but see, it doesn't go out that far because of the way they engineered that shoulder. And then I think it's kind of an odd cue that the side, you see the screws in it. I mean, the screws have to go somewhere, but it just seems like they could have, I don't know, Just seems like somehow that would have made a better outside arm than that. But anyway, that's just a small minor pick. Waist swivel, and then oh, you do have some articulation in the hand there. Elbow is almost like a double hinge. Okay, leg out, back, thigh swivel, knee past the 90, and do we have an ankle rocker on this? We don't really have an ankle rocker, but these things both move. So tilt and all that stuff, you can look like you have an ankle rocker, but it's not really an ankle rocker because you can have that heel in the way. So now let's get into the scaling part of this, and I really think scaling is one of the most important factors when you're buying a Legends figure, so that's why I spend so much time on it and put a lot of effort into it. So here is the way the Racing Bros look with the other IronFactory figures that I own, aside from Bruticus, and the Bruticus is just, it's going to tower over these guys anyway, so it really doesn't help with scaling. So these guys, this is their Phantom Mirage, and I actually hear the Transform element might be named Phantom. They're doing their Mirage in the Masterpiece line. If anyone knows for sure, let me know. And then this is their RC, which is Pink Assassin. She is a bit stylized, and I might do a review on her in a little bit. But this is, I think it scales well. I think this looks good, and these all look good together. They work well. Let's see how well they play with other companies. So this is the New Age Flipper, which is really small, and I kind of think that Flipper is the best out there, but looking like this, it just looks like maybe he should have been a little bigger. But that's New Age, and then I assume New Age car bots are about that size, but this is Toy World. Toy World's Whiskey Jack, which I love. I think it's a great figure, so all that looks great to me. I do want to put in here that this is the McFans Toys' own original mold of Sideswipe. This is not a KO oversized Sideswipe of Magic Square or anything like that, and this one is going to stand taller than if you were to get the IronFactory Racing Bros first set that had a Sideswipe in it. Well, I think it had a Sideswipe in it. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, when you look at this, this guy is a little bit bigger, but as a whole team, it doesn't look that bad. And here's why, because when you bring these guys in, who should be bigger, I think that looks good. That's Magic Square, and that's the Agamemnon for a New Age, which I think New Age is upping their scale, and they're going with a much larger scale now, so New Age is stepping up to a Legends Plus a bit, or maybe Legends middle ground, I don't know. But all that I think looks really good together. However you want to set it up, I think that will work for your shelf, and however you want to display that. Now let's go ahead and work on switching it over to the car mode, and it's a fairly simple transformation as long as I can keep it all on camera here. Okay, I'm going to unsnap the back there, and we're going to fold this up. This is a double hinge joint back here, but we're not going to use that just yet. You need to get the arms straightened out and oriented properly. You can see you want in the car mode to not have the screws showing, and then you need to turn the hands like that. And then you're going to fold them up and do that on both sides. And see, this one doesn't reflect the light as well as the first one did. Now we're going to take this chest and you're going to rotate it. Don't go off screen. Rotate it and create the top of the car with these pushed upward and onward. We're going to fold this over, but there's some tabs here, and the arms actually tab into that, so you got to kind of make that all happen like this. There's your back end, and then you close up your feet. Get enough light on all that. Tab it together, and then it just shows you push it down. into itself, and that looks about right. So here they are next to the G1 set, and I want to say with these being Legends figures, and they're almost the same size. In fact, if I could straighten him up a bit, maybe the same height. But they're nearly the same size, same height as G1. G1's a little bit bigger, a little bit fatter and bulkier. And also, they're not going for the same style, of course. I mean, it's not even the same car, really, they're targeting. But I think that they look good. I think they're a definite improvement on the G1 when it comes to, of course, articulation and playability, all that stuff. But they don't have that pullback and pop-up function that G1 had. So I really think, okay, I like the looks of this one better. I like the coloring. I like everything about this. It's like a dark charcoal color. I love that really reflective red that really pops. It really stands. I think this is a nice stark contrast. Very beautiful. And I understand that's the first set of the Racing Bros looks beautiful like this too. This does look kind of weird, the way they have the hand in there. I mean, if they're going to go through that much trouble, why not have that whole thing covered? I don't know. There's the bottom of it. You know what this guy almost looks like? Let me show you what this guy almost looks like. This kind of reminds me of Scamper from the Generations Metroplex, doesn't it? Sort of have that kind of look to it, like Scamper, in a way. Kind of interesting. It's just when I saw it, that's what I first thought of. I thought, that kind of looks like Scamper. It has the red gun and everything. Maybe I'm wrong. So this is the IronFactory Racing Bros, the Retrograde IronFactory EX26R. This is a cool set. Everything feels really solid. Nothing ever feels like it's gonna break. They look decent in both modes. They're very stylized for what they are, but I know the IronFactory stylized figures are highly sought after, and I know if you didn't miss out on the first set that came out and it had Sunstreaker and the other guy, those Racing Bros, you might want to pick up this set. You can get it, you handle them, see what they're like, and see if you really do want to get the next ones. I think they're pretty cool. They're going to be in my collection. You can get these at Show Z. Like, subscribe, Put Hanger out.